If you're a real estate agent and you're tired of cold calling, door knocking, and spending money on ads, then subscribe to this podcast. We discuss leveraging the power of YouTube for your real estate business and how these strategies earned us over $1 million in GCI our first year in real estate. My name is Levi Lascsak and my partner is Travis Plumb. Let's get started. All right, we are live. Welcome to Passive Prospecting for Real Estate Agents. And if you're in the real estate business, this is definitely the channel for you. And we have a very special guest today. I'm super excited to bring you Mr. Sean Cannell. He's in the green room right now. I'm about to bring him up, but a really brief introduction, although I could go on for days about Sean. He is he's super cool, first of all, like one of the coolest guys you're ever going to meet. But Sean is the founder and CEO of Think Media. And if you've heard my story, I've mentioned this time and time again, that Think Media was one of the channels that I studied to learn YouTube. And it's what we've modeled a lot of our channel off of as well. It's what gave me the idea to incorporate other team members onto the channel to see if our content would be just as successful with other people creating content on the channel. That inspiration came from Think Media, because if you check out the channel, if you haven't already, you'll notice that he has multiple creators, multiple team members. All of the videos perform. Some of the team members on his channel, their videos are, through the roof on views. And we found that was the case with our channel as well. When we incorporated other team members, maybe somebody just needed a fresh face, which, and their videos did just as well. So a lot of inspiration came from that. And of course, I always talk about YouTube Secrets. He is the co-author of YouTube Secrets. And this was the first book that I picked up to start my YouTube journey, because as I want to learn something, I'm a little old school and I like to start with books first. And so I thought, okay, if there's people out there that have written books on the subject, especially whenever it comes to video marketing, then they have to be somewhat of an expert, right? So that was really kind of my first exposure to Sean Cannell and to Benji. And so whenever I picked up this book, I picked up about 7 other video marketing or YouTube marketing books as well, but this was by far the best one. YouTube Formula wasn't out at the time, but and the rest of them, not so. They were okay, but YouTube Secrets was very extensive. But Think Media, well over over almost 2.2 million subscribers at this point, closing in on 200 million views. And the thing is that they teach all things YouTube. They also teach camera equipment. I mean, I'm not much of a techie type of person, but that's really good to learn that stuff as well if you want to. But he currently lives in Las Vegas with his wife, Sonia. They've got Sean Bradley, and they just had a new addition to the family, John Steven as well. And surprisingly, I'm not saying surprisingly, they're good looking kids. I mean, no, but you'll see here. So Sean, I'm going to bring Mr. Sean Cannell up here. And again, also what most people don't know is Sean is also a hip hop aficionado as well, and has quite the dance moves. If you've ever seen him speak live, he can rock it a little bit. How you doing today, Sean?
Levi, thank you so much for having me on. I'm sipping on some coffee. I not only have a 2-year-old right now, but I've got a 1 month and 3-day-old, 2 boys out here in Las Vegas, and just grateful to be hanging out with you.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. So I wanted to just kick this off, man. We've got several of you in the audience already, so thank you for joining us. We'll do our best to get to Q&A at the end if possible. So go ahead and throw your questions in the chat, and we'll try to get to a few of those. But I wanted to ask you, Sean, first of all, and kick it off. What are you most excited about today?
Well, I'm most excited about YouTube, honestly. I mean, besides my family, right. I absolutely love YouTube, and there's some new data that people need to know. This is kind of just some greater YouTube landscape. They just announced that they're going to be sharing more monetization now with Shorts creators. There was a leaked document from YouTube about them investing in podcasting. They hired an executive to run podcasting. They're funding different people that do audio podcasts, trying to get them to do video podcasts. And I say those new kind of things because YouTube's also the #1 video platform, 2.6 billion monthly active users. And it's the dominant video platform. And whether it's short form content, whether it's audio, video, podcasting, they're trying to bring it all under one roof. So if you want to talk about building a personal brand and making your real estate business anti-fragile, like really positioning yourself in a very uncertain and shaky economy. I'm excited about YouTube. And I just got done speaking at a couple events, and what's been amazing, 2 agents, 2 loan officers. I had so many people come up to me that said, even with a small channel, people look at your success and they go, oh, well, if I started when Levi started, oh, if I just started yesterday, I don't know if I can still break through the noise. I had this nice lady come up to me and she goes, I only have 1,000 subscribers. I just started posting videos about my local market. I've closed multiple deals already and I'm getting all these leads. And so there's a lot of opportunity on YouTube right now. And the last thing I'll say is I actually think a lot of people are kind of asleep to it. I'm shopping in Marysville, Washington right now, which is Snohomish County. That's an hour north of Seattle, King County. And you would think that in an area like Seattle, 2 million in King, I think almost 1 million in Snohomish, just in those regions, you would think there'd be maybe 5 agents really making market update videos, maybe 10. I mean, if there was 50, you'd say in a market like that, that's as crowded like that, I could find 2. And only one guy was consistent. His name's Zach McDonald. I actually went to high school with him. I'm like, my man, Zach. And even Zach is not consistent enough for me. He's focusing more on King, not even Snohomish, where I'm trying to shop for Airbnbs. So ultimately, yes, I know some markets are more crowded than others, but if you're listening to this, it is stunning how actually undersaturated YouTube is, especially for local and regional real estate marketing. And especially if you get some of Levi's tips, some of my tips, you can get the edge really quick and get ways to stand out in the noise and really grow your business.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you what, well, you just knocked out like my first 3 questions. That's how good you are. But I was going to say, the thing is this is what we encourage people to do all the time, especially since I'm usually speaking directly to real estate agents, is that don't just look at the real estate channels. You want to find the think medias. You want to find the video influencers. You want to find the Nick Nimmin and the D Nimmin, and you want to understand. This is why I say YouTube Secrets was such an important book, because this is what helped me understand the fundamentals and principles of the platform. And it helped me to understand that YouTube is a search engine, not a social media platform. And when you understand the fundamentals and principles, you understand it from the producer side versus the consumer side. So, and that was actually my next question, which was, is YouTube saturated? And you kind of touched on that. But, that's the thing, is that you would think a lot of people would have said that even 2020, I mean, I started December 5th of 2020. So I haven't even hit the 2-year mark on the channel. We're coming up 2 months shy of the 2-year mark. So much opportunity out there. And I mean, what is actually saturated? What would you even consider 5 people in the real estate market in a city, 10 people, 15? Clearly there's a lot of people teaching YouTube. That hasn't stopped you from doing that. Plus, I know recently you've generated, let's just start there. So would you even consider YouTube to hit a saturated point in, let's say, in the real estate space?
I mean, when I think about the competition and saturation, there's a lot of layers on it. The first one is, even if there is a lot of competition, if somebody's out there, they're already like the big fish in the pond, they get 10,000 views a video. People are underestimating the opportunity to get 25 to 100 views a video. And so we compare ourselves, not realizing that, well, listen, if you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more leads per week, per month, that could be the difference through helping you get through a recession. I mean, you don't have to be as big as the biggest person. There's a long tail for anybody in any market. The second thing is, not a lot of people are putting in the effort. One of my channels that's more on the that I love on the real estate investing side is Michael Zuber from One Rental at a Time. He's uploading 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 videos a day. Now, how does he do that? All he does is he does a lot of interviews with experts. He brings them on, not live. He brings them on and he interviews them from 2 to 3 topics, and he'll bring on a loan officer to talk about mortgage rates. He'll then also talk about their predictions for 2023, and he'll record videos. They're all straight through pretty much. They're very informational. He has a diehard audience, including me. He does daily financial news, and he gets on, talks about the daily. That's, I think, the key word, daily. My friend Ryan Pineda, big real estate influencer with a lot of flips and real estate investors. On his website, he says new content every day. That right there, none of your competition is going to do that. Everybody that I see in Seattle, King County, Snohomish County, there's maybe 50, there's maybe 250 people. But when you have to understand the consumer. I love watching YouTube. I get off work, I go in front of my smart TV, and I like to say, I put in Audible, I'll do the audio on my little Apple TV remote, and I'll go Snohomish County Market Update YouTube. And here's what I see. The newest update is 4 weeks old, 3 weeks old. Here's my point. It should be less than 24 hours old. There's new stuff to talk about all the time. This out, new listings, whatever listings. This is how days on market. Like there's a guy in Vegas, Brian Lebo, good channel to look at. He just does like a monthly video about the state of the market. He just delivers a lot of value. And he also does listing videos on his channel. Does a lot of luxury real estate out here as an agent. But his market update videos, my friends, literally, Snohomish County is massive. Seattle is massive. And there was nobody doing even just market updates, let alone more sophisticated strategy. So the competition to me is zero, because then the game is, okay, well, Sean, I'm so busy. I'm trying to just follow up. I got showings. I got stuff to do. I get it. So you have to create systems and routines, but people are really overthinking it. Michael Zuber is amazing because, again, there's no editing. There's no graphics. There's no music. He just hits the record button, delivers the latest data. It could read off a piece of paper. It's the information that people, I'm not looking for the production value. I'm looking for data from somebody I can trust about my local market. And then maybe some reminders that, hey, now's a great time to, have the rate buy down. Now's a good time to have the seller pay closing. Couple things. Here's an updated state of the strategy. People want to buy now and they want information that's from today. And they're not going to trust information from a month ago, especially when markets are always shifting. So your way to make the competition irrelevant is to commit to consistency. And I would say also up the quantity of the type of content you're putting out. Don't overthink how fancy it needs to be. Just deliver great information in your local market, and you're going to be stunned by the amount of goodwill, opportunity, leads, and connections that come your way.
Yeah, that's something that really got, are you familiar with Meet Kevin? You ever seen, I'm sure, his content? I mean, that's something that really put him on the map, was going live 3 to 4 times a day. I mean, it was
amazing. Recording. He'd either go live or he'd hit record at his studio.
Yeah.
Maybe make a few edits or just save the video and upload it. And you're absolutely right. 3-4 uploads a day. That kind of, and for someone who's like, oh, I'm scared to even get on camera. I feel you. I get it. It's nerve-wracking. It's a skill. You might look at Levi. You're like, bro, you're so confident. You're so comfortable. He didn't start that way. Like, nobody starts that way. You got to just start messy, start before you're ready. You really got to start poop your pants scared, honestly. You just got to press record, get on camera. But ultimately, it does become kind of like a skill, and you get a momentum. It's not, I would argue, it's not hard for Meet Kevin to pump out lots of video. It's not hard for Levi now, because it's also like, it's hard for me to do push-ups. Levi's been in the gym. I haven't been in the gym, man. I can't even do a pull-up. I think I can do 1 pull-up. I don't know how many pull-ups you could do. I know Benji can do like 30 pull-ups, but what's the key? It's repetition. It's doing it over and over again. It's not hard for me to pump out maybe 4 videos in a day. That sounds intimidating now. Just get in the game. Just start slow, ramp up, because then what'll happen is 6 months from now, maybe things turn, maybe the Fed goes back, who knows? Of course, it's contextual to your local market, but things could get dire out there in terms of kind of a freeze in transactions and the whole thing just slowing down. So you want to make sure that you're getting your reps in now, so you're ready for battle in the next 6 months, shoot, in the next 3 years. And I actually really believe that investing in YouTube and good marketing of your business is going to be the key to weathering the storm and truly being anti-fragile, being recession-proof. Here's the thing. People are going to thrive in the recession, not everybody. And so those that have more deal flow or more opportunity, more flow of leads, more flow of just awareness, more flow of branding, more flow of building their personal brand, I think the good news is there's a real opportunity listening to this right now. I don't know who I'm talking to, but you're listening to this right now. This is kind of a wake-up call, man. It's like, go all in. Don't come crying to Levi March or, April next year being like, holy crap, I didn't know things were going to get this bad. Get ready now and be like, wow, some of my friends, they're going through some tough times. But luckily, I've got all this awareness. I am getting the traffic and the buyers that are still in my market or sellers because I've invested in my personal brand and my YouTube channel, and I did the hard work today.
Absolutely. And this is something, you go back on our podcast, this is something we've been talking about, is that we feel the agents that will win in the next year or two, especially in the downturn, are going to be the most visible agents. And that is, if you're paying for advertising, that means you step up. Maybe you double your paid advertising. If you're doing it free through social media or YouTube, especially like we're doing, this is what we're talking about right now, is how do we create more content? How do we become more visible? And it just got me thinking, we've been doing a live on Tuesday nights, which has been kind of the market update, the market report, bringing on also other people from other cities. We're partnered with agents across the country. So we've been doing a little Dallas versus Atlanta, Dallas versus Houston series. So also trying to help out other team members throughout the country get some additional visibility as well. But absolutely, I think people vet you through social media right now. So even if they come across some of your paid advertising or hear about you or get referred, I think usually the first thing a lot of people are doing now too is they're going to see if they can find you and when's the last piece of content you published. And that to me is a credibility standpoint, because if people don't see you've published in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, I think that they may think that you're that inconsistent in your business as well. And you run the risk of creating a perception that you're not consistent. Now, you could say, well, I'm so busy, I don't have time for that. But I think people take social, especially YouTube right now, too, very seriously. And the ones that are consistent and show up more are going to be the ones that win. So I think you're speaking the exact language that everybody needs to hear right now. So as far as that goes, I know what are you guys doing? And are you seeing the same thing in your business as, of course, the real estate shift, as they're saying, is taking effect? Is there something that's affecting on your side of the business too, as far as content creation and video production, everything that you guys are doing? And what are you doing to combat that?
On the one hand, there's just at our level, there's so many different variables. I mean, we have 23 W-2 employees at Think Media now. And, there certainly is kind of a recession in terms of negative GDP, but of course, unemployment's still low. Where's things going next? Man, who even knows? You know what I mean? It seems like it's going one way, but does the money machine get turned back on? Does any of that stuff happen? Of course, personally, I'm sure we're in agreement that whether it's a good or bad economy, there's always opportunity.
Yep.
And so we've actually been seeing our numbers slightly tick up on YouTube. It's now, Think Media is under the leadership of Nolan Molt and Kyle Anderson more directly as our creative director. That's a big move for us. They've been there for the last 60 days. I'm moving more to being like the CEO of our parent company, Clear Vision Media. So we have Think Media, and they're going to be separated out, which would be like our YouTube channel, brand deals, affiliate marketing, ad revenue. We have our education company. That's our online course, things like our books. We have our event business. And then a fourth business we want to start is we want to buy commercial specifically for depreciation opportunities as well as longevity, and build a studio that we bring people into Vegas, help them shoot videos, have our own studio, have our own space, virtual event space, mastermind, smaller events, small to mid-size events. And all of that vision I see on playing out in the next 12 to 24 months, kind of progressively. And so one of the things that I think my favorite way to summarize my personal and our company strategy in recession is that we got to play offense. We go on offense. Now, defense is important, but as the key guy, as the CEO, as the promoter, as the driver, I actually can't get too worried about defense. I need to make sure I've got good defensive players. My wife, Sonia Cannell, she's our CFO. I'm worried about making money. She's making sure it's not leaking out the back end. She's scrutinizing the P&L, paying attention to those details. I'm thinking about how do I raise revenue? And I keep my focus on offense. Of course, we have like Jordan Perez on our team. She's HR. Like she got to make sure that, of course, things like the teams being taken care of and, all of that kind of stuff. I think about that as well, because team culture, leadership, but again, offense. And if you're listening to this, I think that, again, as an agent, maybe you're trying to kind of do what Levi's doing, build a media company around you. You should do that, and scale up what you're doing. I'd be thinking offense, because what a lot of people do is it's either, there's three options in a recession. There's either flight, there's either freeze, or there's fight. So a lot of people, some people run away, flight. Some people freeze, though. That's what most people do. They freeze and they do nothing, right? They freeze. If you're an agent right now, again, that buyers are just, God, they got cold feet, man. They're waiting, interest rates. Why aren't you getting into creative financing? Why aren't you thinking about like sub 2, different ways to make deals, seller financing? There's a way to make a deal happen, but you're going to have to get more education. That's staying on offense. It's not just saying, I'm just going to freeze and ride it out. So you could freeze, or you can go into fight mode. And so I am, of course, being cautious, but I am thinking about offense. There's going to be so much. I'm thinking about hiring. We just hired. We're hiring right now. And that takes a level of courage and balls, frankly, because tech companies, especially, which are kind of the canary in the coal mine, whether that's creator economy companies, Facebook, they're doing their layoffs. They're doing layoffs. So and then you also have to have self-awareness about your business model. Of course, your local market may be affected a certain way, but we're blessed to be positioned talking about how to make extra money from home by starting a YouTube channel, or how to make extra money online, or, for a real estate agent too, shoot, you should be thinking about multiple streams of income, whether that's you get into real estate education, not even your own. You could promote somebody else's as an affiliate, create streams of affiliate revenue. Of course, if you're not already doing kind of affiliate partnerships by referring state to state or loans at different places, you got to create extra streams of revenue. So offense for me, I'm thinking about, how do I create more deal flow? How do I promote more? How do we hire? How do we expand while everybody else is thinking flight and freeze?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, that's funny. That's something that we talk about here is we say life on offense, just live life on offense and just go for everything. We were doing a deal a day, when times were good, they say. And now I just looked at the numbers for the last week, and we've done 4 contracts in the last 6 days. Now, here's the other thing about that. People are still buying homes right now.
Yeah.
But are they coming to you? That's the question. And if you have, 7 deals in 7 days, and it falls back to 5 deals in 7 days, that's still a good business. Now, are we working on other things? Yes, we have definitely expanded into education, editing, the editing agency, and a couple of other areas to where that is also, it's picking up for us too, because guess what? People are looking for alternative ways to generate business. They're looking for ways to, what I've been doing is not being as effective. And so how do I bring in more business? And now they're like, okay, now I want to take the YouTube thing a little bit more seriously. So we're definitely seeing a much higher interest in, in our educational side, the course side. And then of course that couples with the editing side as well. And so we're seeing that tick up. And so that easily makes up for the 2 lost contracts that we had been averaging as well. And so you have to think about too, how do you diversify, not just, being in one lane, but, the diversification. Now, I also believe in, though, getting somewhere on one path, ideally, at the end. You want to get very successful in one area. Usually they say the millionaire has 7 streams of income, but it was one stream of income that got him to the $1 million, then the diversified, right? But as soon as you can kind of break off and start, diversifying a little bit to complement your business, I think that's what's also going to help through people through these times. But, we've seen as little as, I know you were talking with some people, you said you met somebody, an agent at a conference this last weekend, 1,000 subscribers, multiple deals. I mean, you think about it, we had 48 subscribers when we got the first call, 30 days and 48 subscribers, and it was $1 million buyer. That's a $30,000 commission. I mean, that's huge. It would take you a year or two, or sometimes more than that, to build up in 30,000 worth of affiliate commissions, right? Sometimes doing something else. We're fortunate in the real estate space. We're in a very high ticket item. Chris Daraviv, I think you know him with Flyride. described me once as a super affiliate for real estate. It's like, yeah, kind of. I mean, we're fortunate to be in a high ticket item. So now let me ask you this. I know I saw something you posted recently, right? That you generated 29 million views in the last 30 days. Did I see that correctly?
That's probably true. I don't know if that's the stat. One that does inspire me though to answer the question. This will throw you for a loop as we're talking about, YouTube Secrets second edition, and the book's out now, and this is the launch week. But my most viral video, Levi, that I've ever had personally, this is gonna blow your mind. What happened in the last 30 days, and it was a Facebook reel.
Oh, okay.
A Facebook reel. Now,
maybe that's what I saw then.
And that got like 7 million views on its own. But here's where it's an interesting opportunity. I think if we go a little deeper strategically, if you're watching this, I think YouTube is home base. YouTube is also Facebook reel like that goes viral. That's not leading to like $1 million buyers. Like it's kind of more just hit it kind of. But here's the opportunity is if you're creating content on YouTube, maybe you're creating native organic vertical content, to be clear, maybe videos that are less than 60 seconds filmed on your phone or vertical. YouTube Shorts is a big opportunity. But when you create these assets, the video that I created was actually me doing a leadership talk. It was on our podcast, and I just shared stats about how many people are reading and how many people buy books, interestingly enough. And I posted that video on TikTok, and it actually got 900,000 views. And then we posted it on, I don't know if we've even posted on YouTube Shorts. We will. We posted it on Instagram. It got 44,000 views. We posted it on Facebook Reels, which is not just uploading it to the feed, but actually Facebook's like native Reels feature now. And a lot of platforms have that. And it's going viral. Not only is it 6 million, but it's going out. And I have some 4 million viewed videos on YouTube, 3 million viewed. I've never got a 6 million viewed. So the long tail, does that negate YouTube? Not at all. I think YouTube is the top of the content pyramid, meaning you could create video content here. Even moments from this very conversation could be sliced and turned into, of course, TikToks and Reels and Facebook videos. And to your point, the agents that are going to do the best in the coming hard times are going to be the ones that are most known and generate the most awareness. So I think part of the commitment is the commitment to creating video content, period. The commitment to planting your flag on YouTube, the commitment to raising revenue, and then the commitment to maybe spending some of your time or investing in help to multiply your horizontal video, your YouTube videos into content on other platforms. And this might kind of be shocking, but where this thing grows up is on Think Media. Across our channels, we're posting over 300 pieces of native content per week right now. And so that's just kind of modern marketing. You can't start there. It's definitely, that's Monday boards and team. And it's also, we're not just like trying to lob out garbage. Like we're trying to actually make every single one of those relatively good. It took some time. I mean, again, employees and team and a revenue model that supports it. But it all starts with, posting some content and then figuring out the team and the strategies and the systems. Because once you've created that content, it's shocking to the level you can leverage it. And the final thing I'll say, not only did we post that video on the same video on TikTok, on Instagram Reels, on Facebook, and we will post it on YouTube Shorts. What's even crazier is 3 to 6 months go by and we'll post it again. Like the level of which you can re-upload it, not as much on YouTube because they will potentially see it, but you could take your best performing Instagram Reels, wait 3 months, and just re-upload those. So it's kind of overwhelming to think about managing all that content. But what happens on the other side? My Reels range from 5K to 50K to over 100K views. More awareness, followers, link in bio, whatever it is you want to do. You want to land agents in a local, buyer sellers in a local market. You want to let people know about your book, your course, your education. There's just the level of playing the game. Social media will do this for you. You just got to crack the code on the team, the systems, and the content.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the more you get established, the more doors it's going to open for you as well. I know you've got, Pace Morby, right? I love Pace. You brought him to my attention at Grow with Video. That was and then I was at a conference this weekend where he spoke, and he talked about community. And what was really amazing was, and this also correlates into Meet Kevin too, you know, because they have established audiences now. You know, Pace talked about, you talked about raising views, but raising money. You know, if he wants to, I was actually at an apartment investor conference, you know, learning about investing in big complexes. Well, Pace is like in his community, he's got $90 million at the tip of his community. All he's got to say is, hey, here's a building ready to go. And so even at the time now where the recession, what happens also where people really capitalize are the ones that are in position to capitalize on top of it. Right. And because he's built that community, if retail real estate as an agent starts to slow for you, if you've got the back end community built in and you're starting to see opportunities with price drops and foreclosures and apartment buildings come up for sale that you couldn't have got 2 years ago, think of the power of tapping in your community. As Pace said, he's got $90 million at his fingertips. Meet Kevin actually he just launched his syndication, right? He's going to start syndicating and tapping into his audience to invest in, apartment buildings. That's the opportunity there. That is huge as well. That's another way to capitalize on that. And so it's absolutely amazing. So, and it's funny. Have you seen this too? I mean, we've noticed this on us. If we publish a short on YouTube Shorts and then on Instagram, is it something about statistics? Are ones with statistics in them seem to really get a big pull? Have you?
That works for you as well. Statistics just hit. I mean, yeah, like there's something. There is 100% something about statistics, and something about also they just kind of trigger people too. Because I'm just reading, it's just a certain moment, but they're like, where is that? And like it's all these debates between people inside of it, and yeah, so funny. But that it is a power tip. Like try just a list of statistics or just 1, 2, or 3 on a short form vertical video and see how that performs on your even Instagram Reels or TikTok or anywhere else you are.
Yeah. And then do you also find that when you have a successful one on one platform, it tends to do well on the other platforms? Have you seen any consistency with that?
We have. The numbers can be pretty wide ranging, but like we had a TikTok that just hit 100K. And then it went on Instagram and it still did 17, which is good for us. It didn't do the same. And same thing with the one that hit 6 million on Facebook Reels. It did well everywhere. And it could be timing certainly matters. Cause again, there was a couple, we have another one that hit 1 million or 500,000. And then we posted it 3 months later and it hit another 350 and another, 220 between Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, and TikTok. And one strategy I did learn, we actually are working with a vertical video kind of specialist with a Gen Z mindset focusing on TikTok, 31 uploads a month, just daily. And this person works with Graham Stephan as well. And we, what they do is they upload the daily ones, but then they take the best of the best. And those are your shorts. So we do 5 long form videos on Think Media right now. And again, I would never expect an individual to do that. This is a team of people at this point. But that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday, we upload shorts, which sounds like a lot. That's only 104 shorts a year at this current pace. So we are really being selective. It's like we're testing some of the content and then we're trying to be aware of like, what is the promise of that channel? What do people want most? But what we learned from the guy we're working with is for Graham, he's taking the TikToks that get over 1 million views, and then those are worthy of heading over to YouTube to be a short.
And are you finding the getting good traction on the shorts on YouTube with those?
We have not made it that far yet, meaning we're still on our personal backlog of shorts that we've been uploading. And shorts has been kind of an interesting thing for us. All I know what's kind of cool is you can go into your YouTube analytics and I'm actually happy to show people if they want. We could get a little geeky on screen here. But this is kind of cool. If you go into your background analytics, you could go to your dashboard, you can go to your analytics here, and you could go to your content. You actually can isolate out your shorts. So there's what shorts have been doing for us. And you can see there's the 2. Some weekends it's been 1. And this is pretty cool. You can see this rise here, but like, about 1 million views of shorts in September, 52,000 likes, 2,500 subscribers. Of course, this is contextualized. We have a rather large channel. So this is not like our best performing whatever, but you could go again, you can see videos, and that's 4 million. That's, 1/5, 4 million views on videos, 1 million views on shorts. It's pretty good. And you could bust out your lives. We don't do it. It looks like we did 1 live the entire month. And then even your community tab posts are right here. So anyways, yeah, shorts is an interesting thing. I think it's a code to crack, but nevertheless, what this reveals,
Can you scroll down? Can you go back real quick? Oh,
yeah.
I would love to see your the traffic, because we noticed something on shorts recently.
Okay.
So go down, scroll down a little bit.
Oh, where they're coming from?
Yeah.
Short feed.
So okay, so see, ours flip now. So here's the deal: is that when I experimented with shorts just about 1 year ago, it was all shorts feed, and I posted a short a day for 3 weeks, and it would hit 1,000 views inside of 1 hour, and then I just didn't really like that for the channel, and so after 3 weeks I stopped. Well, now they've all completely resurfaced, and the number one driver is search right now.
Yeah, especially for this audience, shorts are quick to make, and they definitely can be search based. I heard Gary Vee talking about this as a strategy for hyper niche things.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get into like local cities or cities, villages or towns within cities, and like you said, resurfacing for some very specific search term. I also think of doing even market updates if I'm an agent in shorts form, feeling constrained to 60 seconds, and also realizing that same video, even the long term, there isn't like a ton of replay value on YouTube. And to your point, YouTube is a search engine. It's nice to have some things there that have replay value, but nevertheless, you could do a less than 60-second market update. That's going to be an Instagram reel. That could be a TikTok, and that could also be a YouTube short. You get a lot of leverage out of it. And that would be more now versus later. But yeah, search is kind of a niche strategy for shorts that is definitely relevant for this audience.
Yeah. So is anything else that you've picked up on shorts lately? I mean, other than the fact that I did see that YouTube said that they're going to be more search based, and now they are for us. I mean, we've gotten about 5,000 views from those 20 shorts I posted a year ago in the last month. 5,000 views. Now, the other thing was I consolidated them into 2 categories because I wanted them to have a utility aspect as well in case I decided to stop at the time, which was places to eat and things to do in Dallas, Texas.
Yes.
So now, and also we doubled that up. So whenever people come into town to visit, we include those playlists now in their email so that they have a quick reference of shorts of things to do and places to eat. Very quick. They can run through those 60 seconds, but it was just interesting to see those resurface. And now the search is the number one driver on those coming back. And so I'm a little torn on, okay, do we just incorporate it back again? And I'm thinking, I'm not seeing what the downside would be there.
Yeah. I mean, a couple things. I see Dale's asking, should I have 2 separate channels for shorts and long form? I don't think so. I'd keep it all in one channel. 2, what is cool with shorts is it's still evolving. And what you're noticing, even the resurfacing, is that the team, Todd, the head of product at YouTube, has even said they're working on the shorts product. The algorithm is integrating it more. They just announced before short form and long form videos weren't talking. If someone watched your shorts, they would not be recommended your long form. That is happening now, or at least they're testing it. So you investing in shorts is kind of getting ahead of something that YouTube is committed to. And even Benji, earlier today, we were talking about YouTube secrets on another stream, and he was talking about in January, some kind of insider information he had that there's going to be I know you can have like a shorts shelf or a playlist essentially on the homepage of your channel, but there's going to be a more distinct separation on your channel. Therefore, if I'm a creator, I'm keeping it all on one channel. I'm also definitely committed to posting shorts. And then to your point, I do think, like you said, a utility value and a long-term search-based value. But I think there's also the opportunity for you to maybe have some viral shorts. Maybe it's even just something 7 seconds or 15 seconds that you would see in Dallas, like something that would, I just picture something that's maybe entertainment kind of based, but definitely on brand, not just trying to get reach for reach sake. The other thing is one of our best performing shorts is, I think it's called 5 tips for filming well. I'll be able to find it. And so we could share my screen again actually here.
Yep.
And you could go to your best performing shorts over here. This one is called 5 simple YouTube video ideas for beginner. So it's a list of 5. Omar made this, 58 seconds long, and it just gets straight to value. But what's wild is, to your point, this video, I want to say, came out in 2021, April 23rd. It's got 420,000 views, grew the channel by 2,000 subscribers, and it's a listicle. And so, yeah, you sort of were already saying that, right? It could be 5 things to do in Dallas,
Yeah.
five must-see attractions in Dallas, if and you just deliver through that. Editor put some nice B-roll in there. Those assets, yeah, I think those would be some incredible assets. Now, one other tip I'll give you, my friend Neil Dingra, good friend, awesome guy on Instagram, loan officer, crushing reels mainly. But one of the things that he's doing that's really cool is he's also understanding he ignored YouTube for too long, because Instagram was giving him great results, but he's like, dude, YouTube is really where the game is. So it's where the long-term value is. So he's doing both. So what he will do is he's doing a little bit more personal finance, broader appeal stuff. And then he's also growing his business for loans and his team. He'll talk about like 3 ways to prepare for a recession. So what he'll do is he'll kind of think about the hook. That's sort of like the title and the headline, his 3 tips, and he'll actually deliver that in a vertical video filming session in less than 30 seconds. But when he's on that momentum, every single one of the things he'll mention is like, keep cash reserves. Like, that's number 2. You can keep moving. But there's like another couple minutes he could say on that. So he's actually shooting vertical versions of his topics and long form. And I wouldn't hesitate to do the 5 attractions or 3 things to see in Dallas vertical shorts, and potentially maybe a slightly different version that is horizontal, or there's 10 and that's just 3 of them pulled out. And the punchline is we're trying to streamline our preparation and our activity if we're always trying to come up with new content. So again, he's sitting down and he's shooting the vertical version, and then he's shooting the longer horizontal. So it's 30 seconds on the vertical version, and then it might be a 5-minute, 7-minute video where he will go deeper into what it is he's saying. You might say 3 ways to prepare to get approved for as high a loan. Like, get your credit right. Number 2, and get your credit right. You might have a lot more tips on that. Like, here's a way to kind of improve your credit, get your credit, get your personal finances so the bank gets you more. So that's something that this audience, I think, could really benefit from, would be thinking about powerful topics that could, like an accordion. You could communicate it very short and concise, but you could also kind of blow it up. You could do it in an 8-minute YouTube video. You could probably unpack those topics in an interview conversation between 2 people on a 45-minute live stream. Don't hesitate to repeat and reuse your topics across formats. Don't be worried that someone's going to be like, oh, I saw your short, I don't want to watch the live. Either they won't see it. People are too busy. They won't notice. They'll forget, or they will notice. And they'll be like, I don't want to watch it. But more than likely, they'll be like, this is a great way for me to unpack and connect even longer. I mentioned Michael Zuber, One Rental at a Time, earlier. He repeats himself a lot. Like, I'm not mad about it, but I mean, like, his daily financial news gives me like 10 things. I watched it today. And then throughout the day, he might break 2 or 3 of those out in a conversation with the guest as 2 separate uploads. And by the way, I then will probably skip over those. Or if it's the thing I'm interested in, I'll click on it. The punchline, and I really want people to hear this, I think people are kind of, maybe they're not getting as much leverage out of their content as they could. Maybe we're afraid of repeating ourselves. We're not realizing that a little bit of research, a little bit of preparation, that is hard to do. You're busy. You're researching articles, you're researching data in your city, you're researching things. Get like your core content and then cook that up and serve it in multiple different ways. That is a 2023 content strategy game right there, is like, get your core idea, but then chop it, cook it, and deliver it in a vertical video, in a longer YouTube video, and even in a live stream. And don't be afraid of repeating yourself.
And so you said you're publishing a video a day on Think Media and then shorts on weekends.
Yeah, I mean, we publish 5 videos a week on the weekdays at Think Media. We might mess with that schedule, but it roughly maps to 5 normal uploads, regular uploads on YouTube, 2 shorts. Think Media podcast channel. This week, we're uploading 4 full-length podcasts. Sometimes every Tuesday, it's 1 podcast. And here's what it also comes down. Like I'm telling the team, like we're going to 14. I mean, we're going to minimum 1 upload a day, but I got 23 people on the team. And I would say we're not ready yet, because I think there's also something about pacing yourself, making sure your team is solid, your systems are solid. You're also ahead. We're not barely hitting the deadline. Our goal is to actually get 2 weeks ahead on uploads. That doesn't negate reaction. I think that's important. Our friend Vanessa Lau, who, spoke at Grow Up Video Live, she also talked about she got so far ahead in batching that she missed out on opportunity of the real-time response. But those things don't have to be in conflict. If you're 2 weeks ahead on stuff that's a little more evergreen, you just have that much more bandwidth to push the date a little bit and to do the now content or to do the today live stream. So we're trying to get to Think Media first, 2 weeks ahead, consistent at 7 a week roughly. And then we want to get Think Media podcast to 1 to 2 full-length podcasts, clips, not shorts, but clips from those, 4 or 5 minutes or whatever length, 8, 4, 2 of the best stuff chopped out of those. And then probably 2, 3 shorts over there. And that's also where our live shows go. Heather does a show called YouTube Made Simple. I do a show called Coffee with Cannell, which would be like this. And we actually kind of alternate every other week. Nevertheless, you add it all up, that channel could easily be 7, 2 live shows, 2 shorts, 2 podcasts, and a clip, and just different ways you slice it. And then let me back off. 1, we have a team and we've been growing into this. 2, this is our core business, and I'm not out pounding the pavement. So, respect to the different hustle. But even 3, I'm not overly married to those deliverables, meaning I just know that when we hit those kind of outputs, we're running circles around the competition. Every video we plant is like a seed we plant today that produces fruit for weeks, months, and years to come, because it could be search-based, education-based, and the long tail. But if we need to do some leadership stuff or plan ahead or shoot, I'm not like, oh my gosh, we broke the rhythm. We only upload, instead of 14, we only uploaded 3. Like, I think just slow and steady wins. I think that we create unnecessary stress. Even like, I got to upload a video a week. No, you don't. Like, skip a week. It doesn't even matter. Just get back to it. Like, and keep pounding that consistency. It's really not what you do in the next 2 weeks that is going to make or break your, online marketing, YouTube marketing strategy. It's the commitment you make over the next 5 years. And if you have kind of a slow and steady rhythm of consistency, there's a ton of forgiveness if you miss a day or a week, or you don't quite hit your schedule. And sometimes you need to slow down to speed up. So sometimes you maybe should back off the publishing of content a little bit to work on team, hiring, firing, team, systems. We use Monday.com. And it's pretty sophisticated backend. We got brand deals integrated, like communications. We're dealing with some of that stuff right now. You see the restaurant. I hear about the restaurant in the kitchen. You see the restaurant, and the final product is like, dang, it's Think Media food. It's good, man. It's good videos. Man, these guys are consistent. This looks so effortless. Yeah, you didn't see the kitchen. You didn't realize it's Hell's Kitchen back there. It's, hello, sir. Here's the great video. We're smiling. Then I walk through. I pop through those double doors. What the F? I'm just kidding. That's not my style. But like, get the chicken, pick the thing up. What are you doing? People are shouting. We got a fire extinguisher putting out fires on the stove. Any business, you got stuff happening behind the scenes. And so I think that sometimes, we're trying to build this thing to last, and we want to build a sustainable content publishing, media publishing company. So I don't know why I went off on that tangent. It's simply that sometimes I think it's smart to back off. My mentor and friend, Shalene Johnson, taught me that quote. Sometimes you got to slow down to speed up. Get the right editor, get them dialed, get the right systems, fix the broken things in your business. We got off a meeting literally today with Nolan and Kyle, and they're like, I actually think to set ourselves up for next year, we might want to adjust our schedule through even the rest of this year. I'm like, bro, it's also the holidays though. And we got to go all in. This is literally fourth quarter. And they're like, we agree. But, you know, maybe some weeks we'll be doing 3 and not 5 of our full length uploads. And I'm like, of course, not only do I trust you, but that's wise, because we also want to not just be frantically operating the front end of the restaurant. We want to make sure that the kitchen is working well, communication, team, culture, workflow, sustainable pace, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, slow is smooth and smooth is fast, right?
That's right.
That's what the Navy SEALs say. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. I love it, man. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of behind the scenes. It's a lot of work, but the consistency, yeah, really dials in and pays off. So, man, there was so much to unpack there. Let me ask you, what is it about? You mentioned the relaunch. Did you know you said the launch or the relaunch of YouTube Secrets this week?
I mean, it'd be the launch, technically the relaunch of the book.
You mean the launch of the second edition?
The second edition. And to be honest, it's already been out. So it's not even like it just came out. This week in particular, though, it's just a week where we're just going, I appreciate you having me on. You know, we're also doing a giveaway, YT Secrets. We're giving a whole studio away, ytsecrets.com. We're giving away a camera, lighting. And so
are you going to come and set up the studio?
No,
you and Nolan?
but maybe our guy that does that is Omar, does that every once in a while. So I just dropped a link from Think Media in the chat, but YT Secrets, that's cool. We're doing a giveaway. So all this week is like, hey, the book's out and we're pumped, you know, 3 new chapters, 90 new pages, rewrote everything outdated, deleted some stuff that just doesn't work anymore, new appendix. And we're humbled because, you know, YouTube Secrets is the #1 best-selling YouTube strategy book in the world. I mean, 80,000 copies, 2,300 reviews. You know, our friend Daryl Eves is probably trying, you know, catching up. Not even that he's trying to catch up, but I mean, it's a really good book, YouTube Formula. But this book is just, there's kind of been magic around it. Like, not only did we kind of maybe have a head start, but what's really cool is this new edition is just, we went to a whole nother level to make sure it's the best, most current, most updated, and even 4 more years of our understanding and our experience. Because this next decade, it's going to be the best decade on YouTube. And now this is really your blueprint and your battle plan for dominating the next decade on YouTube. So yeah, we're calling it kind of launch week. We figured we needed a week. But more than anything, the book's just been out and slow and steady. It's just been kind of crushing on Amazon, just blown away. It's something like anywhere from 1,500 to 3,000 copies, kind of just organically. And that's word of mouth and people just seeing that if you're serious about YouTube, it's definitely worth your time. It's definitely worth your $4.99 on Kindle. And I really believe it'll serve you and especially help you make your real estate business anti-fragile, market, get leads, build your personal brand. And not to go off on this tangent as well, but what's fascinating is in 2008, Benji and I both got crushed in the housing market bubble. He was actually an agent. Yep. And he got crushed. They're losing their home. I was a buyer working at a church waiting tables. My wife had 3 jobs. We had 2 homes, declared income, 80-20 arm on the first one. And that guy lost his job. He's not paying that anymore. So that house is foreclosing. We're house hacking before I even knew the term. We got a family and 2 other people renting rooms from us in our next house. And they're losing jobs. The market tumbles, crashes. We're getting absolutely crushed. What's wild is we actually both really discovered the power of YouTube and went all in on YouTube. And YouTube was even a vehicle to carry us through and bring us out of the previous recession. And so literally, friends, I think this is a serious moment to really think about not even just the short term, start a YouTube channel and get a few more leads for your real estate business, but really even just reinventing yourself. Never been a better time to kind of reinvent yourself, capture new vision, like diversify, as you taught a little bit earlier, Levi. Think about diversifying, thinking about your future, thinking about, man, who do I want to be? What's the kind of business I want to build? And this is a great time to do it, especially if maybe you have a little bit, if the phone's ringing less. Now's a good time. You don't have to freeze. You can stay on offense and you can fight. And I really believe that this book will serve you. And I appreciate you, Bob, and Levi. You may have said it before, but you're in the book. Quite literally, you read the first edition. We wrote you into the second edition because of your crazy story from starting to post YouTube videos and, close to 90 million top line and 3 million in real estate commissions or whatever you guys hit. This is wild. And so I just appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, thank you so much. And if I had that page marked, which I don't, it would probably be around page 252 in the book. So is where we would be at. Yeah. No, thank you for mentioning that. It was a huge honor. It's something that getting to know you and Benji has, really from afar first to study you guys, and then just to develop a personal relationship has been awesome. And that really came about through Clubhouse, and getting on there. Whenever I was started out, I was in Clubhouse rooms, not in real estate rooms. I was in YouTube rooms to learn more, because I felt like Clubhouse was a live customer service line for YouTube. And so there was a lot of creators, especially Benji, was in there about this time last year whenever I was starting out, or a year and a half ago now, 18 months starting out. And that's what I was listening to, gaining that information. And then, everything just kind of snowballed, which, by the way, we were just talking about Gabby earlier, who's on here. She says, "Hi guys." Funny story I was telling Sean. So Gabby was one of the main editors with Video Influencers for 10 years with Sean and Benji. And whenever they put a hiatus on Video Influencers on there, she emailed us. She emailed us on LinkedIn, and she was like, "Hey, I worked with Sean and Benji and saw that you guys kind of hang out, and so noticed you guys were rocking and rolling. Do you need an editor?" And we're like, "Actually, we do, yeah." So it was really perfect timing. And so it's really cool how relationships can also affect others and extend the opportunities as well. And so, for us, I think I'm proud to say that I think we sell probably a couple of 100 copies a week for you guys. Just mentioning this is something that I always talk about, because he said the best-selling book. I do believe it is the best YouTube marketing book to help you really understand fundamentals and principles, and that's really key. So, Sean, let's wrap it up. I know you got to run, so I got a final question for you. Who's the best hip hop artist yesterday and today?
I mean, for me personally, it's gonna be Macklemore. I mean, he's from Seattle and super creative guy, and I have an affinity. In fact, Benji took me to a show once with really great tickets because Judy didn't want to go, and he's top 5 on stage of anybody in the world, I'd say. So I love Macklemore, but as Macklemore even said, that's what you get when Wu-Tang raised you. And so, I grew up with Wu-Tang on the East Coast, and then like underground acts like Hieroglyphics and like Living Legends on the West Coast. I was kind of an underground rap guy with like Dilated Peoples and all that kind of stuff. Maybe one of the greatest in terms of lyricists. I mean, Eminem, right, has been up there. Maybe one of the greatest in terms of, J. Cole these days and Drake. And I know a lot of people would hate on that, but in terms of crossover appeal and pop music, everyone gets mad. He's not saying he's the best lyricist, but he's probably the best in terms of crossover influence. Of course, Kendrick. And so you asked me just one, but just giving credit where credit is due, kind of across the board. And but personal fave would be Macklemore for sure. And then in the launch of his golf line, Bogey Boys, is kind of cool to see him kind of branch out. Of course, he does all kinds of cool stuff, but that's a really niche lifestyle and golf clothing brand that he launched that I'm a big fan of. And I kind of like his quirky style with all that stuff.
Yeah, I think we could wrap it up on there. So think about what he just said. Okay, so you got Macklemore releasing a golf line, right?
Yeah, of clothing.
Okay,
Bogey Boys.
And that's something too. I think and Alex Hermosi, who you had at Growth Video, it's something that he talked about that pushed him into the personal brand. What he saw is he built an amazing business, but it was the personal brand that he saw others building, that personal brand with community that allowed them to diversify and launch other businesses and grow extremely. You had Brad Lee there at Growth Video too. Same thing, right? Brad Lee says took him 20 years to build an 8-figure business, took him 6 months to build the next one because of the personal brand, the content, the being present. At this conference with Pace Morby this weekend, Pete Vargas was there too. And Pete Vargas said, be known for something right now. The people that are known for something and are the most visible, whether you're a real estate agent, mortgage officer, in the camera review equipment business, video production. I mean, all of that. When you're known for something, it's going to allow you to expand your brand, because you're at the core of that. And that's what people want to do business with, people that they know, like, and trust, which is the power of video. The people that call us are the people that want to do business with us. And that's the beauty of it. And so, we really appreciate you. Thank you for your contribution to the community, to, everyone. And what's the best way? What would you like people to know to kind of close this out, as far as connecting with you, or visit Think Media on YouTube? What would you like them to know to close this out?
Levi, just thank you so much for having me on, and massive love and respect to everybody here today. Yeah, if you want to check out the book, YouTube Secrets is the book, and the ebook, $4.99. Audible, if you don't have an Audible account, you can grab it free. It'll give you a free credit, or you could use a credit there. And then the physical book is there for you as well. And kind of fun fact, if you invested in the book before, whether the ebook or Audible, you could just re-download it. You don't have to buy the new version. You just can delete your audiobook. However, I definitely recommend, if you want to love and support the book, get the physical, get the new one. You can take notes, underline it. And then besides that, I'm pumping out a lot of free content to help you, just here to serve. And so my name is Sean Cannell, rhymes with YouTube channel. You can find Sean Cannell on, all the different social media platforms. You can see my handle on the screen, and I'll come up wherever you are. And, just on a mission to really help you crush it with YouTube. And Levi, thank you so much for having me on today.
Yeah, thank you. And it's not Sean Cannell _ Sean Cannell or
none of the above. Luckily, my name was unique enough that I was able to lock it down. Sean Cannell at a lot. Actually, on TikTok, it's like Sean Cannell 7 or something. I'm just absolutely. I changed it. It's like official Sean Cannell official or something like that. But I don't even post on that one. Official Think Media, if we're shouting anything out, would be also kind of, I'm much more interested in building my company brand than my personal brand these days. And that's where you can get a collective of us. So whether Think Media on YouTube, and then Instagram is like official Think Media, and we're pumping out value there as well. So.
All right. Thank you so much, Sean. We appreciate you. And to everyone else, make sure you check out the next video popping up, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us on today's podcast. If you're interested in partnering with us to access our YouTube course and coaching all for free, schedule a call at 5starstrategycall.com.